Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. GCW No Signal in the Hills 3 at the Ukrainian Culture Center in Los Angeles, California happened last night. Started at 10 o'clock Central Time, so didn't watch it till today. Getting a little old, hard to stay up late. But just another typical good GCW show like they've all been this year. The fact that these shows can be good. They don't have a lot of, this one didn't have a lot of death matches. It had a little bit of hardcore, but not really the death match, you know, that some people think GCW is all about. I love the diversity of this roster and what people they can bring in to do things. So first match, we had a 6-man tag. We had Little Cholo teaming up with Los Macizos, Ciclope, and Miedo, Extremo, going up against Unguided 2.0, Bodhi, Young, Prodigy, Damian, Drake, and Vandagriff. This match, you had the hardcore of Los Macizos versus the Unguided 2.0, the high flyers, and the more outside ring kind of guys, top rope stuff. This match was actually a good mixture of the two. You had a few chairs and a couple of doors get involved. You had Los Macizos put Vandagriff through a door to get the pin at the end. But you actually had Los Macizos wrestling in the ring and doing some over-the-top rope stuff, which was kind of a different variance for them, but they still got the doors in. But yeah, so seeing the Bodhi, Young, Prodigy, Damian, Drake, Vandagriff, I've seen these guys in Future Stars of Wrestling out of Los Angeles. I've seen them in a couple other West Coast territories, and LA Fights, another GCW company they sometimes do shows with. But Los Macizos and Little Cholo getting the victory. I end up giving it 2 3/4 star. Next up, we had a fatal 4-way women's match. Doesn't happen a lot in GCW. Normally it's men versus women. We had Masha, Slamovich, former GCW World Heavyweight Champion, versus the cutest one, Maki, Itoh, Murder, Death, Kill Gang member, versus Allie, Katch, part of Bodhi, versus the biggest bitch in the world, Steph. She thinks because she's with Matt Cardona, and Matt Cardona is the quote deathmatch king, which is a deathmatch piece of shit. She's the queen of deathmatches, and she's just a piece of shit as well. Anyway, as you know, she tells the crowd to go fuck themselves. Tell everybody to fucking shut up. It's like, bitch, shut up yourself. I know it's her character. I know it's what she is. It's kind of funny. The fact that all 3 of them ganged up on her at first, which is kind of hilarious, because she's like, fuck you, no fuck you, no fuck you, no fuck you again, no fuck you again, no fuck you again. It's like, oh my god. And overall, it was actually not too bad of a match. Now, toward the end of it, we had a little shenanigans going on. Masha Slamovich has a match versus Blake Christian coming up. Blake Christian came out and got involved with Masha Slamovich. Ended up distracting Maki Itoh because Maki was over in his face. Maki ended up getting hit by Steph. She ended up pinning Maki Itoh for the victory here. I gave it 3 star, but then you had Blake Christian choking out Masha Slamovich. You had Effie and a few other people come out, or not here, Effie came out later. You had Chris Bay come out for his match with Blake Christian to get Blake off of Masha. So you're kind of building up that next match, but you also kind of build up the current match. So in that match, Steph pinned Maki Itoh. She came out with the world's cutest pizza cutter. I give that 3. Then we had a GCW title on the line. We had champion Blake Christian going up against Chris Bay. This match was actually really good. This is one of those matches that, on paper, Blake Christian, Chris Bay. Well, shit, okay, I can't wait to see this. It wasn't to the extreme level of like, oh my god, this is the greatest match in the history of matches. But no, these two guys go out there and they're kind of similar in the ring moves. They're kind of similar in the way they present a match. Got the little top rope stuff, a little high flying, outside the ring a little bit. It's kind of the vast majority, kind of the majority of that. Some DDTs and that kind of stuff. You had a really good match here with Blake Christian getting the victory over Chris Bay, 3.5 star. Then we got us a little death match here. We had the rejects, John Wayne Murdoch and Reed Bentley. You wouldn't expect any more from these two. except blood and death. And they're going up against Joey Janela and Sawyer. Oh boy! Yeah, we had some doors involved. We had some tables involved, some chairs, or door tables basically. Doors, chairs, blood. Both rejects got busted open. You just had these four just fight. It was just a big old fight. John Wayne, Murdoch, and Reed Bentley D were rejects getting the victory over Janela and Sawyer. Ended up giving this 3 1/4. What I would proclaim the match of the night was next. We had Leon Slater versus Jack Cartwheel. If you know who Jack Cartwheel is, he's been on AEW a little bit. He does a lot of cartwheels. He does a lot of aerial stuff, lucha libre kind of inspired moveset. Leon Slater, a UK version of lucha libre, the kind of the Will Ospreay type, the Ricky Knight Jr. type. These guys went out there and just tore down. One hell of a lucha libre match. Leon Slater does this. The hell is it even called? Kind of a swanton into a 450 kind of deal. It's hard to describe. It's like two big aerial moves in one, and more like a swanton, and then he 450s it up. It's like, what the hell? But he ended up hitting out to get the victory on Jack Cartwheel. I'm gonna give it 3 3/4 star. Next up, we got a completely different match than I was expecting. We had Gringo Loco versus Mance. Gringo Loco is the World of Lucha on GCW guy from Collective, Lucha Libre star, AAA Lucha Libre star. Mance Warner, just a beer drinking, brawling fighter. Fully expecting each guy to do their thing, what brought him to the dance. I was expecting Loco to do some Lucha Libre stuff and Mance Warner more the fighting stuff. Oh hell no! Lucha Libre went out the fucking window. Gringo Loco turned into a deathmatch wrestler here. Oh my god, he took it to Mance Warner. He had Mance Warner so damn bloody at one point, Mance couldn't even see straight. And Gringo was just freaking deathmatching it to him. It was like, whoa, this is a whole different side of Gringo Loco. Of course, then he ended up a little bit of the Lucha Libre style at the very end. I think, if I remember correctly, he did a top rope move on Mance with the victory. But it's like, whoa, deathmatch Gringo Loco. Hell of a match here. 11 and a half minutes long. I give it 3 1/2 star. It's like, holy crap, Gringo Loco for the victory. Next up, we had a six-way scramble match, typical GCW scramble match. We had Jordan Oliver, the JCW champion, versus Alec Price, the Northeast Ace, versus Brandon Toon, who I've seen a lot in New South. Calibus, not seen a lot of him. Of course, you can't have a scramble without Jimmy fucking Lloyd, the boy, the different boy. And Jordan Cruz. He's actually a West Coast guy. I've seen him a lot in LA Fights and Prestige. But yeah, he's actually a big dude. And at one point it was Jordan versus Jordan, which was really freaking cool. They both kind of, over the last 2 or 3 years, have gained a lot of mass and muscle and stuff. But yeah, this is a pretty good scramble match. Jordan Oliver ended up getting the victory. I want to see more Jordan Cruz, actually. Ended up giving it 3 1/2. And then sub-main, we had Jacob Fatu, yes, the cousin of Usos, the cousin of Roman Reigns, going up against Effie. Jacob Fatu is actually it's going to come out wrong, more talented Uso. What I mean by that, he does more aerial stuff. And like he's even talked in different interviews and different documentaries, he'd go over to Uncle Eddie's house, which is Rikishi, and him and the Usos would be playing in the pool. Fatu would do backflips in the pool. Usos wouldn't, Jimmy and Jay Uso wouldn't do that. And that's kind of Jacob's freaking finisher, is a top rope moonsault. And he did that just playing with his buddy, the cousins of Usos, and Uncle Eddie, Fatu's, or Rikishi's pool, and doing moonsaults. But yeah, hella talent there. I can't wait till he becomes as big as his cousins, the Usos. I love when he freaking starts calling people Oos. Hey, Oos! I'm like, you're already there, dude. I know he signed at one point a 5-year contract with MLW. I know he does some stuff in GCW and some other companies. Will he ever end up in WWE? I have no idea. I know with Jade's contract up in August, I don't know if he's going to resign, what they're going to do with all that. But eventually bringing in somebody like a Jacob Fatu would be really freaking cool. Maybe come in, hey, I had to make a phone call, brought one of my cousins in, and boom, there you go. But Jacob Fatu taking it to Effie, but Effie hung his ground. Jacob Fatu at the end of the day getting the victory there. 3.5-star match. Then we had our main event. We had Johnny Game Changer. Yeah, you heard me, Johnny Game Changer. He goes by a million different names, but it's John Hennigan, formerly known as John Morrison, formerly known as Johnny Nitro, formerly known as Johnny Impact, formerly known as Johnny Down Under, there's a million of them. But Johnny Game Changer. Of course, he's also known as Johnny QTV on AEW. Going up against Nick Gage. The first part of this match was like, oh my god, are you serious right now? You had Johnny Game Changer go into the ring, come out all bloody. What the hell? I'm like, really? He bleeded under the ring? Oh, no. Nick Gage goes under the ring and pulls out a bottle of fake blood. So they start, at least the commentary team started kind of like, oh, other companies use fake blood, blah, 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 and all this, and we don't do that here. And about that time, you had Nick Gage gets pizza cutter out and just starts slicing up Johnny Game Changer. And then you had Back Attacks get involved. You had Johnny Game Changer, DDT, Nick Gage on the attacks. You had Johnny Game Changer do a standing moonsault. Gage moved, face planted Johnny Game Changer on the tacks. It's like, oh my god, this is awesome. You actually had these two have a really good, once we got through the plainness of the fake blood and all that shit, then you just had a really good match there. You ended up having Johnny Game Changer put Nick Gage through a door on the side of the ring. The pin was a little funky though. It was 1, 2. It looked like Gage moved his arm and the referee kind of threw it into the match. So it was like, it looked a little weird. But Johnny Game Changer beating Nick Gage in GCW. I give it 3-star. I mean, it started out kind of funky and stupid, but it got better. Overall, good show. GCW typically, for me at least, doesn't disappoint at all. It's one of those companies, if you never follow them, they put on solid shows. They go out, they entertain you. It's not all death matches, but it's yet not all just straight up matches. It's all just good stuff to me. I watch every single other show. I've done a review of all their shows here, best ofs and everything. They are a staple. I actually watch them more religiously than I watch some other companies. I watch the main stuff: WWE, NXT, AEW, Ring of Honor. I would say GCW is right there, and then New Japan and stuff. So, but to me, it is the top independent company out there. Definitely check out their stuff if you can. But that is GCW No Signal in the Hills review. No Signal in the Hills 3 review. As always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show. Don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports and content.